Alrighty, Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It is Doc. It is I. And what do we got going on today? Let's see if we can get going here. Let's put the... You can see there's the dollar index on J4X. Also, let's open this one up. Open the workspace. Thought I had all this opened. Okay, there we go. And let's see. Where are we? Let's get that resolved. Let's see. Put the platform up on there. There's the platform there. There we are. And then let's move that out of the way. There we are. There is, get the dollar platform up on J4X. I'm sorry, it's on J4X. Let's put it up on Chicago Quants Beta. The Beta. Beta. You know, I go on and on and on. It is amazing. It is totally amazing how much I constantly see in the United States. How much they're worried about the dollar. I mean, I don't get it. I just don't get it. I mean, honestly, it's like I want to tell somebody, hey, have you ever heard of the Turkish lira, and or the ruble, or the fixed currencies around the world like the Hong Kong dollar and the Chinese yuan, or just the Japanese yen, going from basically one over the last year to 1.5. I mean, or like the euro. The euro went from 1.5 down to 95. I mean, when they talk about the dollar, honestly, I mean, it just really amazes me a lack of understanding of forex. Just oh my God, the dollar is crashing. People around here in the United States on some of these like Bloomberg and CNBC, they talk like the dollar is crashing. I mean, honestly, crashing. It just makes me, I just laugh at that. It's like, come on, guys, gals, traders, please get a grip on reality there. So, anyhow, that's where my head's at all the time. I'm like, no, it's not crashing. The dollar is not crashing. Ask any questions? Yes, Robin, thank you. Good morning to you too. And I see something just came in also on the email. I'll take that in too. Let's go over to here. Let's find the dollar index right there. There we go. There's the dollar index right there. And you see that same thing. The dollar is very firm right now. It's trying to come up. We got the weekly. Of course, it's in a weekly sell. I mean, come on. It was at 114. It was all-time highs. No more than like a year and a half. I guess it was like 3 years ago now. Right as Mr. Biden came in, the dollar was at all-time highs. And, obviously his business skill set or his policies are not the most conducive for the dollar, but it's over one. I mean, ask the people in Turkey. Wouldn't they be happy if their dollar went from 1 to 114 or 115 and fell back to 102 instead of going from 1 to 33 and falling back to 32.5? I mean, really. All right. Anyway, that's my beginning riff of what is wrong with American media and why they seem to be trapped into fantasy instead of reality. All right, let's take a look at the euro, and I'm not the euro, the dollar index there. As I said, you can see on the right side, you see it's in a weekly buy. Weekly sell still. You can see it right here. You see it's been having its issues. You go over to the beta. We scroll it up a little bit. You can see it's been in that sell just like the one over here. It's been in the sell for a while. And then you go over to the J4X and we put the weekly in there, and I'm sure it does the same exact thing. Lots of red. Lots of red, 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 red. Red, red, red. There it is there. Lots of red, So no real surprises there. Everything's fine. And to some great extent, the healthier industrialized countries in the world seem to be um, their currencies are relatively calm. Courtroom chaos, brutality judge for denying his parole. What the? I understand we're going to get some ADP. I guess it's at 1:15, something like. I'm sorry, 8:15, and another like 40 minutes. It'll be right towards the end of the webinar, which will be pretty cool. All right, so now let's go over to. Let's go check out the euro. You'll see the same thing. Euro's not exactly falling apart. It's very firm. I mean, think about it. Wouldn't the people in Turkey be happy if their currency went from like 0.95 to 1.5 and then fell back down to 1.10? I mean, really. I mean, that's pretty calm compared to some of the currencies in the world. There it is. There it is, the euro. You can see it's been in a steady. This is the weekly. It's been steady growing. Put it up over here. There it is, right there. You see the euro. It's been in a weekly buy some all the way back in here. Not much of a weakness there. So yeah, it's a lot of the currencies in the world, in the solid countries, I guess you could call them the solid economic countries, like a Canadian and, a European Union, British pound, Australian dollar, New Zealand, so forth, with an attempt to have some type of capitalistic system and work, they lean into it, let's say. It could be still, they're all socialist with lots of safety nets. But at least they lean into the idea that property rights, things like that, a little bit more than some of the, like Turkey. I don't know what the property rights are like over there, but one thing's for sure is that it's not reflective the same way. I've seen where Poland, currency, the zloty, we have that. We always have that up on we have that, but no one ever really looks at it. Here's a good example of, a European country that still has its own currency. And there's the zloty. And when we tighten it up, you're talking about a currency that's been bouncing between the fours and the fours. The 4 sevens. And there it is back into April. And you can see, and you know what we're going to do is we're going to throw it up on J4X because it'll show it even better. But, here's the Euro zloty pairs trade. Right there. We're going to throw the weekly screen up there, and you're going to see it all the way back to, like 2015 or something like that. Same length period of time when the Turkish lira went from in the ones to the 30s. It'll fill in a second. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Don't run away. It's coming. And it spins away. It's getting closer. So, I mean, this product has been basically in the fours. I mean, bouncing around in the fours. We see the same thing with the Israeli currency, too. There's a few of these currencies that seem to, tie into the fours. Now, there is like this is all the way back 2019. It was in the low fours. And you can see it was into the high. It actually, did it touch? What did it do there? It touched the 5. I think that's the invasion of Ukraine. That's what that is. And you see pretty much there's the high 3s, like 3.9. I mean, pretty steady, pretty clean, 6s to 4s. There's a low 3. I mean, wow. Let's just show you what a wild and woolly currency can look like that has less, let's say, government support. Where the government wants to be the decision maker, not the marketplace. There it is right there. So here it's trading at the same time period down in the low ones. What's that? 10 something or another. And there's a 30. That's almost a 33 right there with the same time period. I mean, from 1 to 33. I mean, talk about movement. Who else is? Now here's the yen. Let's take a look at the yen. I feel like I'm on a roll here about looking at real currency action versus fake. Now that currency there is at 0.80 all the way back then. It gets up to 1 point. Just had my coffee there again. So excuse me for a second. 1.51. Yeah, not bad. I mean, yes, of course it doubled, but that's not too painful compared to, 1 to 33. Not 1.33, but 33. So here in the States, we're really putting up with this noise from the media trying to tell us that our dollar is falling apart. Maybe it's all the gold, the gold companies trying to convince them to sell their dollars and buy gold. Maybe that's what it is in the end. Who knows? All right, let's get back to the euro. And we'll finish that off and go, unless someone would like to see something, and we could always discuss it. Yesterday was really nice. We had somebody, Fisher was it, jumped in and talked about binaries. So we talked about the binary options for a while. That was nice. Here is the dollar euro pairs trade. That's on the weekly, which is not too dramatic. You're talking about from the low 104 area to the high what is that? 112 basically, 111 and change. Let's get the daily back up in there. There it is right there. And you can see over here, that's the Zolte. Let's put the euro back up on there. There it is. And not bad, just steady, consistent. You're going to get fluctuations. The fundamentals are having their issues over the years. The currencies, no doubt, are the closest to the fundamentals. They do look at inflation. They look at the interest rates. They look at the GDP, gross domestic product, CPI, all the good old fundamentals of understanding economics in a particular area or country or region. So we do see that type of process going on. And then let's go over to the cable. See what the cable's up to this morning. Right there's dollar, the GBP against the dollar. In that case there, you can see it's trying to go green here today. We're starting to try to lift again. This has, been out of the three currencies, the major currencies, out of the 6 or 7 major currencies on the earth, out of the dollar index, basically. Use those 6 currencies in the dollar index. The euro, the yen, the British pound, the Canadian dollar, the Swiss franc, and the last one is the not the saltine, that's the Swiss franc, the kroner out of Norway. So I mean, when you see those, I mean, they're the 6 most active currencies in the world. They dominate the world dramatically. They're like 90 some odd % of all currency trading out of all of those. That's pretty cool against the dollar when you pair them off against the dollar. It just makes it a lot more sense when you look at them in a realistic way like that compared to the media being noisy and whiny. Yo, Janos, I'm on a let's beat up the American media trying to tell me that the dollar is being clocked and destroyed. Let's go see what PayPal looks like this morning. PayPal is one of the biggest banks in the world now. So let's go see what PayPal looks like. Let's see. Let's put it in right there. And we'll take a look at yesterday's thing. It was in there. That's Barrick Gold. I'm throwing up on the screen at the moment. Let's put PayPal in there. A friend of mine saw a story on Bloomberg, and they were making the case again. That has me somewhat fired up because that was part of the reason I'm frustrated. He hit me with 5 or 6 questions yesterday about what is the symbol for PayPal? Why is it not coming up? It's a stock. Why is it not coming up? Let me go look up the symbol for PayPal. Yeah, it was like, a PYPL. Okay, that's why. Okay, put the A in there. There it is. I should have just put P in there. And there's PayPal there, and there it is right there for the weekly. All right, so you can see here, PayPal is playing with the weekly sell. Went into the weekly buy in the 56 area, and we traded all the way up to what in that trade, 64 basically. Did we get the 64 there? Not really, like 60. Yeah, there's 64.13. So it was like an $8 move when it got into the weekly buy. Then here's the weekly buy right there where the green line is. Right there. And then that's our math, and we can turn this off. That is the choking. I've been playing with the choking the last couple of days, because he has a lot of TV advertisements going on, and I was like, I know my math is better than his, so I mean it's like, but he is. Let's see, just turn this off. Format, choking. There you go. No, not that. Let's go like this. Format indicator. There we go. Let's turn off choking for this for the moment. There we go. And our math beats it constantly. And then you can see here we're now flirting right there with a weekly sell. So PayPal is starting to move down a little bit. Today it looks like it's down just a little bit. That's really sloppy because it shows yesterday's open high low, and then it shows the where it's closing right now. It's at 58.33, right there. 58.33. Yesterday's settlement is, what was yesterday's settlement? Yesterday's settlement was 63. So it's 30 cents underneath the close of yesterday, and you can see our weekly's showing that pressure there. So that's PayPal. What was the other one? NIO. Who was NIO? Let's see if we can find that. NIO. Instrument. And let's see. Format? All right, let's try that. Just going to throw an N in there. I have NVO, NVDA. Okay, so we got to add it. So add NV. Was it N? NIO. That's it. NIO. There we go. Look up. There it comes. Chookies. Yeah, so I was getting hit with these questions about the dollar yesterday from one of the old exchange guys. It's like, no. It was like over and over again. No. It's like, stop. I keep on telling them, any of these old exchange people, I keep on telling them, stop paying attention to Bloomberg. It's horrible. Bloomberg is like a spin machine. I mean, I've been, CNBC has some value at times, but no, what a disaster. NIO, there it is. Okay, look at the top there. Okay, they spiked that nicely. Let's see where the N, there it is. NIO, right there. Okay, there it is there. Went into the weekly buy here in the $8 area. That's interesting. And it ran to what? Ran to the almost $10 area. It's a very tight market there. 9.57. So it went up 15%, something like that, 18%. And let's throw the weekly in there too. There's the weekly right there. It looks like it's been in a weekly sell for a while. Let's put that in there. And then let's go put another one in there, like right there. And we'll go like that. Put the pink in when I went into the weekly sell. Right there. Now let's contract it a little bit. Wow. This thing was in a weekly sell all the way back in the $11 area. Right there. You see that? You see that? It went into the weekly sell up in here. What is that? That is the 11. I want to say 1170. 1079 could have been in the beginning. And let's do this too. Let's move this stuff over a little bit, so we can fix this more. We'll take a look at the dailies with it too. Wow, it was up in the $15 area. So let's see now. Let's move this over to here. Goes into the daily sell right there. Right here at the top. Goes into the daily sell. It's still a couple weeks in a weekly buy. And then let's move this one over to there too. And finally, I guess it goes into, we'll put that right there. And then it goes into a buy, daily buy right there. But now we're in the weekly sell, so you don't buy it in the 10s. And it stays in that buy for a little while. And then it goes into the sell. Oh, we got a lot of these things, huh? And then we go into the sell right there. Doesn't do too good a job. It goes into the sell at the, what is that? The 1058 area. And it tries to go back into the buy, but you can't take it because we're in that weekly sell. All this is a weekly sell. Or if we can go like this with it. Oh, look at that weekly sell. And it's in that weekly sell all the way along there. Goes back into a buy again. You can't do anything with. And then it finally goes into the sell right there. And then it goes back into a buy again here. You're not buying it, of course. Why again, traders? Because we're in a weekly sell. So it has an interesting bounce along. Really tight markets. Let's see. That looks like it goes into a buy, right? Let's grab a hold of one of those. Looks like it goes into a buy right there, right? Yeah, it goes right in a buy there, and the next day it goes back into a sell. So you're not taking any of the daily buys because we're in weekly sells, because of this big weekly sells going on. And that starts to make money finally. Probably makes back any money you lost in the behind us. Usually the math works that way too. It goes back into a buy again. Obviously you don't trust it. Then it goes into a sell right there, and it looks like it makes, I guess what we need to do is widen this too at the same time. Can we do that? Let's see what that does. There we are. So, and let's go like this with this here. Just move that down a little bit. And we go like that. So you can see this much clearer now. So this does go into a sell right there. And it goes low the next day, but goes back into a buy again. So we grab that buy right there. Keeps you out of this all the way up until this short right there. And then we go back into a, let's get rid of that. Now that's good. Okay, so what it is this, that buy right there. Pushes you into, and you're not long it, so that's good. You know, I mean, it goes into a buy there. Then it finally goes into the sell here, and you ride that one again, and that makes money. Then we take, I guess we go put the buy in there again, like that. You're not taking any of these buys solely because we're in a weekly sell. And there's another sell, depending on your stop and so forth. If you did it through a binary versus, naked long or naked short, or slash the product itself. At that price, at $6, it's almost like an expensive option. That's all it is. And then you got a sell right there. Okay, that's cool. Then we grab one of these buys again. Lots of buys. People really trying to bottom fish there. Especially that one right there. And let's see if we can widen this. There. So it's still in the sell all the way throughout this whole adventure. Goes into the buy there, but you're in a weekly sell, so you don't want to obviously play it along. What a nice little bounce though. Bounces from the 780 area to the all the way up to that point there. What's that? The 851 area, and then it goes into the sell. Let's grab that sell right there. Let's just do this. We'll go like that. So it goes into the sell right there. Not there. Nope. Cancel. 1 over. So it goes into the sell right there. Let's widen it out now. Now we can make it more visible. So it goes into the sell right there. It goes down, I don't know, what's that? It goes down from 797 all the way down to 716. And then it goes back into a buy again. Let's grab that buy right there. But you're not going to get long that, so it doesn't matter. Right there. And then let's go put a sell in again. Where's it go into the sell? Right there, right? No. 1 over. No. Right there. There it is. Goes into the sell here. What is that? That is the 747 area. And it glides down all the way to right there. And what's that low right there? 701. Not exactly anything to trade, that's for sure. You want to go long term on this. Play the weeklies. Buy a weekly. Hold on to it until it goes into a sell and weekly sell and vice versa. I mean, this thing's not exactly a trading tool. You see here it goes into the sell there. We're still in that weekly sell, so it has a little downwardly move all the way to this point right there. What's that? That's the 705 low from a close of 749. And then let's move that over like so. There's your buy again. And then it goes back into a sell again right there. And that's not too good. But now we're all opening the door for weekly buys. In other words, it goes into the weekly buy. See that right there? So now you only want to take the longs. So let's steal this one. So there's the buy there. Doesn't really move that much. Then it goes back into a sell, but you're not going to take the short. You're just going to take your profit. And you're not long it, even with the weekly buy, because of that, the daily sell. So it's a neutral again. And it's going down, and you're not getting punished for it. But I wouldn't try to trade this. Whatever it is, it's more of an investment product. When we go look at the product, let's scrunch it up and take the look at the weeklies out of it all. When you look at that, not pay attention to this stuff. The very short term. You see it. Goes into. Oh, geez, you can see it went into that weekly sell. Where'd it go into that weekly sell? Let's just push it down. Went into the weekly sell in the 20s. Then it tried to pop into a buy for a little bit and right back into that weekly sell. So you see all this weakness here from it. And the thing falls down from the 20s to the mid-teens, like 14, 13. Goes into a weekly buy again right here. Now let's move it up. It seems pretty smooth when it comes to looking at the weeklies because it's just not that big a trading tool. All right, does that answer your question? What is NIO? Is it something we know? NIO. Let's see what NIO is. NIO. NIO. Enter. Search. No. Oh, no. NIO says it's natural gas. Is that a natural gas stock? NIO. NIO Corp. NIO earnings. Inline quarter. NIO. Vehicle margins. NIO. NIO Corp. NIO Inc. Let's try that. NIO Inc. What do they do here? New York stocks delayed currency in dollar. Okay. Is NIO a top EV stock for 2000? Oh, it's an electric vehicle stock? Announces repurchase right notification for convertible notes. Shanghai, China. NIO, Xpeng. Let's see. While NIO and Xpeng registered double-digit percentage growth in deliveries of 23, LI Auto holds. Okay, so it's a electric vehicle. Okay. EVs. Yeah. I don't think it's going to be the next Tesla. You got to imagine most of Tesla is an odd anomaly. I'm not sure how to describe it any better than that. Not counting his rocket ship company. His tunneling company. I don't know. I wouldn't trade it. If you want to play with the... here's an interesting thing. Let me see if I can show it. I'll show you this. I'm going to put this in there. There's a fund. It's called TLSY, I think it is. Let's see if I can put it up on here. And it's a Tesla option fund. Let me find it. Tesla. That's Tesla. I think it's TSL. There it is. TSLY. Let's put it up on the screen. What it is, it's an option fund on Tesla stock. And it's trading at $12 a share. Let's see. I have it somewhere. Here we go. Hold on a second. Open workspace. Just sipping my tea as these charts. Let's see. There it is right there. There it is. It's an $11.78 stock at the moment. Wasn't a weekly buy from the 10.50. I think it pays a dividend. It pays a big dividend. What they do is they sell calls against their stock. They've created a fund that owns Tesla stock, and they sell calls against it. It's like buy rights, and sometimes they just sell more calls than stock. I don't know. Anyway, it has a very interesting return every quarter. It might be something you want to look at. Where the hell is it at? TSLY. It's more of an income thing, but when trying to, figure out which EV stock's going to fly and not, I think I'd look for something that has some value more to it. Also, if it's a Chinese one, you know that it's not exactly very clear. Being I wouldn't buy a Chinese stock. Forget about that. There's no way in the world I'd buy a Chinese stock. You don't know what's going to happen. Look what we've seen with Evergreen and some of these other major corporations in the real estate markets and businesses over there, where one day they're solid companies, the next day they're broke, and they got billions in debt. So I wouldn't touch a Chinese stock. All right. Let's see. Where'd we go from there? Let's jump over to... We did the British pound, but anybody wants to see anything, we'll go ahead and look at it. Just give us a yell. Chinese electric vehicle maker. No way. No way at all. Is there a European electric vehicle maker? Besides like BMW or something like that. Any exploratory companies over there? Something like that I don't know about. I don't really pay attention to the EVs to begin with. All right. Let's go back to the stock. But if you're looking for like something small to play, I'd play with the TSLY. The already established companies make them. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I would not. I'll tell you. I think my recommendation with Chinese companies, if the Chinese were backing the companies, but what we've seen is companies that have billions and billions of dollars they've borrowed, and they can't pay $15 million and $40 million, interest payments. That tells me stay away from it. China is. We used to have a saying on the trading floor when you went into products that really are not very liquid, and you were trading them. We used to call them the cockroach hotel because there was a commercial on TV about catching cockroaches. A cockroach goes in but doesn't come out. It's a little box that goes in and dies. And I would say investing in China is the same way. It's like the cockroach hotel. You invest all your, not all your capital, but you invest capital in China, and chances are you getting it back is very hard. I mean, look at that Saudi Arabia deal with China. That one time, everybody was excited. And they're screaming from the rooftops, "Oh my God, Saudi Arabia is selling oil directly to China, and they're getting paid in the yuan." Okay, so they do the transaction, and China, facilitates it. The Saudis take the Chinese yuans. They go to the Shanghai exchange. They buy gold the next day. Literally the next day they buy gold with the yuan. Then they transfer the gold out of the country. So what they really did is they sold China oil for gold. And it was just a couple of 24 hours to figure out how to transfer it and then move it out of the country. That's not exactly a sign of confidence. That tells you right off, don't invest in China. All right. Let's see. Yano says nothing. Let's see. They already established. I even saw a brand new Mercedes EV this morning. Oh yeah. I'm sure they're out there. In the United States right now, everybody is paring back. I'm talking about the car companies. Everybody's paring back on the electric vehicles. They're producing 50%. They've cut them in half because they have electric vehicles now from 2022 and 23 sitting in their lots. Over a year of inventory sitting there doing nothing. No one wants to buy these things. And so, they're fun to putt around in, but you can't take them serious like an automobile with gas powered, But the Tesla, I have a friend that has a Tesla. He uses it to go 10, like 15 kilometers, 20 kilometers. That's all he does. He doesn't, he doesn't use it to go, anywhere but like 10 or 15 or 20 kilometers. It's like a super duper golf cart. All right. From there, let's jump over to, where are we at here? How do you feel about China? I don't trust China at all when it comes to investing in it. Are you even allowed to say anything about it? Maybe not. There's the Swiss franc, which I think is the best currency pairs trade right now when it comes to the dollar. In other words, if you're nervous about the dollar, buy Swiss. If you're, happy about the dollar, sell the. I wouldn't even sell the Swiss. Sell the euro. The Swiss seems to be very strong at the moment. Interesting. All right, from the Swiss. Oh, let's put it up on J4X. I think we have news out. Oh, there's a mic. There. I think we have news out in about 4 minutes. There it is right there. There's the Swiss. You see it's been perking up just like here for the last 3 days, showing some strength. It does seem to be the best of the pairs trades against the dollar at this point. When you want to be bearish dollar, buy Swiss. When you want to be bullish dollar, sell anything else. I like the way the Swiss is. We had a webinar 2 days ago on this. The Swiss is definitely looking like one of the best currencies out there right now. There we go. Now let's go over to the yen. There's the yen. Look at that. Oh, I saw an interview today from the Bank of Japan, one of the governors. It's the first time since he got in office, like back in March or something like that, that he was interviewed. They're really talking about trying to raise salaries, and because the inflation is so so such a tough position. So I mean, I guess they're not as in the worst. Not they're I mean, there's other countries that got enormously higher inflation, but as an industrialized nation, it's the third most active currency in the world. I mean, you got the euro as the second most active currency, and you got the yen as the third most active currency in the world. So, um, just in sheer volume, just talking about that. Now, we are starting to see some things where they're doing settlements. People are doing settlements in other currencies, but that's probably more because they're buying from those countries. So that kind of makes it different. All right, we got 3 minutes. I think it's the ADP labor number that's popping out. That'll be interesting. We'll put the S&P up on the screen right before it happens. Let's see. So there is the yen. Let's go see what the great experiment looks like. Oh, okay, we're at the closing all-time highs again. It's been kind of quiet the last couple of days. It's been pressing down in that long weekly buy since back in September, beginning of September, no less. In some ways, I'm kind of happy. Ever since they raised the rates, I mean, interest rates now are in the 36 area, inflation's in the 62 area. At least the Turkish lira has only been bouncing between the mid, let's say 28 area up to the 33 area. That's kind of chill when you want to, when you think about a 5 month period with this particular currency. That's kind of good, actually. I mean, it would be nice if this currency could stall out in this area and the population could get more comfortable with a steady currency in that area. I'm not really sure it's going to play that way, but at least I try to say positive things about it when it comes to. I see some. I guess you could call it stability. You can see it there. Basically, since July, we've been trapped in this area. It's not the worst thing in the world. If it would just park itself there now, and just give the population an opportunity to get comfortable with the rates and all, maybe the economy could turn around. Let's see, what else is there? Okay, here we go. We got. Let's get this up on the screen. There is a. This is a 936 tick or contract. This is the S&P 500 trading in the 4,749, as you can see right there. Let's see. ADP should be out any minute, within second. There we go. I think is that it? Yeah, it's out. ADP is out. You see the S&P jumping a little bit there. Let's see, they're buying. They're not really moving much. It's more of action. Okay, it's trapped between 48 and 49, so it's not, the ADP number didn't really freak it out any. I don't see any dropping 5-10 handles out of nowhere. Yeah, it's kind of stalled. That's it. That was the ADP. We're seeing some pressure on it. See, we're using the choking too on an intraday to try to see if we can find. We notice one thing. You notice our green histogram on our intraday system. When the choking in it gets really high up to the top, and our work starts to break down, that when we get into a daily sell, it's usually a half decent sell. That one wasn't too good. It only made like a handle. That was it. Now you can see here it's still doing that thing. It's trying to lift. It's at 40. It keeps on bouncing between like 48 and a quarter and 49. Now it's at 50. Let's see if we see what the news says about it. 164,000 jobs added. There is on J4X too. You can see it. 164,000 added. I would imagine most of it is. They were actually estimated at 115,000 jobs, so it was 164,000. Now the question is, you break it down. Over 50% of the jobs added over the last year are government jobs. They're not private sector jobs. So that's pretty much it. That was the action from it all. Now we'll see if we can get take that apart. Let's see if it does. Let's click on that. Does it tell us more than anything like that? Nah. Giannis, you seeing anything more about that ADP number? It comes up on the screen here, but we're not seeing the data itself. How many were government jobs? How many were private sector jobs? They break the jobs down into all kinds of categories. And you see here the stock market doesn't seem to care about it. Wait for Giannis to say something. No, I guess not. All right. All right. From there, we head back over to the currencies, and we'll go to the South African rand, and we'll start looking at the metals complex. You see, it's just down a little bit from yesterday, but still pushing up. It's in the daily buy, and the weekly is almost on the edge. Look at that, minus 0.0018. It just was 1.5. So it's very, very close, 1.9 now. So it's very close to getting into that weekly buy. It's really trying. They'll take the numbers apart. If I hear anything, I'll let you know. But I would assume, because of the way it's acting, that it was probably more of more government jobs added. All right, now what we'll do is this. We'll put it up on J4X. Let's see. Dollars are right there. And we'll put the... Let's take a look at gold. Gold's been daily sell for a couple days now. There we go, like that. And let's go to right there. There is the gold. And you can see here it's just up a little bit. You know, it's at maybe up $3 or $4. Still in the daily sell from here, which is not exactly from the 71 area, and it's drifted all the way down to the 38 area. We are still flirting with that weekly sell, and now we are below the manifold. So, you know, again, we were concerned about this all last month and a month and a half ago about what, you know, this all looked like, as we call it, painting the tape. So we were kind of convinced that the metals complex wasn't going to do well going into the new year. So far, it's not getting crushed or anything like that. It's just leaking at the moment. Just a little leaky boat. Right there is the there's the silver. Silver pretty much the same way. You know, closed in the weekly sell last week, and it's been pressing down now for weeks. Well, what's that? 3, 4. There's 4, 5, 6. This is the 7th day in a sell. And it looks like it's just up a cent or two. That's about it. Yesterday's settlement was basically 15. No, actually, it was. You could say it was 15.7. So it was almost 16 cents, 23.16. And right now we're trading at 23.16, 17, bouncing around there, 18, that type of thing. So that's the silver. Then we take a look at copper. Copper also started to roll over. And again, we didn't think everything to us looked like they were painting the tape over the last month and a half. So we're not exactly like, you know, very bullish on any of it at this point. There is copper right there. You see copper is down from yesterday's close and 4 days in a sell. And now you got the weekly trying to pierce a little bit in there. Let's put that little circly thing in there. Right there. So just a little pressure. I mean, you know, it's not anything too exciting. but that pressure is on, and we weren't expecting much out of the copper to begin with. EV or not, they just don't seem to have the strength. Then we go to the platinum, and it's curious. It's pressing down, but we don't really see that much action in it. It's still in that weekly buy. We really think that platinum probably is going to be like this for a while. I think it's going to be very hard for anybody to get too. I would imagine even the people who've been hedging gold and silver with platinum, I think they may have stalled out finally. Now I'm not sure if it's going to give us a rally in it, but one thing's for sure is I really don't expect to see $850 so freely unless we find gold down around 17 or 1800 bucks. That's we have to take a couple $100 out of it to get the platinum to roll over that much. That's, at least in my mind, that's the way I see it. All right, and then we'll go take a look at the energy sector. There's crude oil right there. They tried to pop it up yesterday. I guess that doesn't look right. Let's see if we can fix that. Change that setting on there because I think I'm not sure how that played out, but let's do this. There's the default. Yeah, that's better. So yesterday they lifted it up and they failed at getting into the buy. There's yesterday, there's Tuesday. I mean, they rallied it, got very close and stalled out. You can see they put more charge into it today, but it's not exactly exploding. Let's go take a look at Brent on the beta right there. You see that same type of action. Now the Brent, as you can see, went into a daily buy yesterday and is firmer there. You can see the weekly is trying to turn up. It's definitely through the zero area. Same situation as we have with West Texas Intermediate, doing the same thing, trying to climb into the weekly. Over here, let's put the Brent up on J4X. Right there. And it's trying to do the same thing. It's trying to turn up. And I'm sure the weekly's doing the same thing. Let's put the weekly in there. Not yet. It's still red, but you see some green lines developing. And you can see the fast is at 54 and the slow is at 44. In fact, it's 44. So, there's a 20% difference between the two. So that's there's some buying coming in. We don't know how long this will last. The fact that it's even flirting with the weekly buy is kind of nice. I mean, when it comes to the bulls on the bull side of it all. Natural gas, we've seen strength coming into the natural gas. You see, we've been flirting with the weekly buy all week long. You can see here, it's really popped again today. It looked like it closed in a buy yesterday. Let's fix this. Okay. Okay, there it is right there. Something seems wrong about that. We'll have to double check the natural gas. Let's just take a quick look at we're going to cut out here after this. Let's go take a look at the Spanish energy company, and then we'll go from here. There it is right there. A little up over the 26 area. It's 26.99 bid. Let's see, what else can we say about it? Not much more than that. And we'll take a look at it over here on the beta. The beta has it, so we can look at it on the beta too, right there. You can see it's still pressing into the sell right there at the moment in the weekly sell from last week. So it's kind of it's a good sign that the energy, the heating oil, or not the heating oil, the natural gas is starting to back off a little bit in Europe. All right, traders, we're out of here. We got to come up with a title today. I'm not even sure what to say about today. What should we call today's webinar? Let's see. We'll have to figure that out. This is Doc from North America saying happy trails to you. Until we meet again. That'll be tomorrow. Tomorrow's TGIF already. Happy trails to you. To all our trading friends. Later, later, traders. Have a safe and smart weekend. Ta-ta. Let's skip that. No weekend. Tomorrow's Friday. Have a safe trading day.